us discuss this example. 4 persons available for work on the 4 job. Only one person can work on any one job. The following table show the cost of the assigning each person to each job. The objective is to assign the persons to jobs such that the total assignment cost is minimum. So we are asked to solve this assignment problem. So this is the people or person assigned to what? Assigned to job. That is, this A, B, C, D persons is assigned to this job. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is the table for it. So how can we solve this assignment? This is an assignment problem. How can we now solve this assignment? Remember that for us to solve this assignment, we consider a Hungarian method. That is, solving this assignment will be this problem will be solved. This problem solved by So this problem will be solved by Hungarian method. And remember that I've explained in our previous lesson why I'm talking on introduction of assignment problem. So the next step is a what? We have to ensure is a balance type. Remember that I explained that a balance type is a ba- is we the next step is to ensure that is it a balance type. That is when we talk about the balance type or balance problem. When I'm talking balance assignment problem, that is the numbers of row must be equal to the numbers of column. So we have to consider that is it the numbers of row is it equal to the numbers of column. So let me consider this table. So this is our row, this is row, and this is what column. This is row 1, this is row 2, this is row 3, and this one is what? Row 4. So this one is what? Column 1, column 2, column 3, and column 4. So therefore, the numbers of rows is equal to what? Numbers of column is the balance type. Suppose if the numbers of rows is not equal to numbers of column, it is what? Unbalanced type. So this table, the numbers of rows is equal to what? Numbers of column. So the next thing is the what? The next is what? To reduce what? To reduce my what? It is a balance type. So the next step is to what? To reduce what? To reduce my numbers of row. As the next step is to reduce the row. Remember that why reducing the row? Why reducing the row? It means what? I will subtract the minimum element from the what? From elements respective a row. And when I do this finish, I'm going to consider what? Column as well. So let's start from the steps. So this is my first step is to subtract the minimum element from elements in respective column. So let me draw my table. So here, so let me consider my first row 20, 25, 22, and 28. The least element here or the minimum element or the smallest element here is what? In first row is 20. So I have to subtract 20 for all these elements here. So 20 minus 20 is 0. 25 minus 20 is 5. 22 minus 20 is 2. Then 28 minus 20 is what? Is 8. So I'm going to have 0, 0, 5, 2, and 8. So I'll consider my second row. What is my smallest element here or least element? 15. 15 minus 15, I'm going to have 0. The second element is 18. 18 minus 15, I'm going to have 3. Then this is what? 23. So 23 minus what? 23 minus 15 is what? 8. And the last element here is 17. 17 minus 15, I'm going to have 2. So I will consider my row 3. The least element in row 3 is what? 17. So 17 will subtract all the elements here. 19 minus 17, 17 minus 17, 19 minus 17 is 2. 17 minus 17 is 0. 21 minus 7, 21 minus 17 is what? 4. And what? 24 minus 17 is what? 21 minus 17 is 4. So 24 minus 17 is what? 7. So I will consider my last table. The least element here is what? 23. 25 minus 23, I'm going to have 2. 23 minus 20, I'm going to have 0. And 24 minus what? 23, I'm going to have 1. 24 minus 23, I'm going to have 1. I've considered what? I've subtracted minimum elements from elements in respective row. So this is what I got. So the next step is what? To what? Also do it to what? Also do it to what? To row. That is also do the same to column. We have done it for row, so we have to do it for what? Column. So step 2 is what? Subtract minimum element. You can make screenshots for this. So I'm going to consider this table. So here is what? So I have to consider the first column. This is column 1, column 2, column 3, column 4. So in this first column, the least element here is 0. So 0 will subtract all the elements here. So I'm going to have 0 minus 0, 0. 0 minus 0, 0. 2 minus 0, 2. 2 minus 0, 2. I will do it for what? Second what? Second column. So in my second column, I have 5 till 0, 0. So the least element here is 0. 5 minus 0, 5. 3 minus 0, 3. 0 minus 0, 0. 0 minus 0, 0. So my third row 3. The least element here is 1. So 2 minus 1, I'm going to have 1. 8 minus 1, I'm going to have 7. 4 minus 1, I'm going to have 3. 1 minus 1, I'm going to have 0. So I'll do it for my last column. 8 minus 1 is what? 7. 2 minus 1 is what? 1. 7 minus 1 is 6. Then as well as what? 1 minus 1 is what? 0. So this means that I have reduced my what? Column by what? By subtracting the minimum element. And our minimum is the smallest element or least element from element in respective column. So what is my next step? My next step is to what? To cover all the zeros. Remember, we have to what? We have to cover all the zeros. Like where do we see zero? We have to cover it. Cover all the zero, or we draw a minimum line to cover all zero by vertical line or horizontal line. So what? I want to draw a minimum line to cover all zeros by vertical line or horizontal line. So for us to do a minimum line, it means whenever we see zero in that table, we are going to cover. And this is what we have zero here. I can cover all this zero vertically. Where do you have zero again? We have another zero here. I can cover this one as well. Where do you have zero again? I have 0 here as well. I can cover all this. I can cover all this what? I can cover all these elements, all elements in this row with what? Having a horizontal line. So it means what? I've covered all the 0 that is here. So how many lines did I draw here? I draw how many lines? 3 lines. So it means since I draw my 3 line, and remember that I said it that if our order of a matrix, remember that the order of this matrix is 4 by 4 matrix. That is, the number of row is equal to what? The number of column. That is, you have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 by 4 matrix. And it's also what? A square matrix. And whenever we talk about a square matrix, that is, a square matrix is a matrix if the numbers of row is equal to what? Numbers of column, or if the numbers of row having the same as what? Numbers of column. So how many lines did I draw here? Is 3 line. And for us to achieve our optimal solution, 3 line that you draw here, the numbers of line draw must be equal to what? Must be equal to what? Order of matrix. Remember that our order of matrix is what? Order 4. That is a 4 by 4 matrix. And the numbers that I drew here is what? 3. So it is 4 by 3. So we have to make it what? 4 by 4. Suppose if it is the order of matrix that I draw here, that is the line that I draw here to cover the zeros are 4 lines, and the order is 4 lines. It means our optimal solution is achieved. But here, the number that I draw is not equal to what? Numbers of what? The numbers of the line that I draw is not equal to what? Orders of the matrix. It means what? I have to continue. I have to make this one to be what? To be a 4 line. So how am I going to do this? So I have to continue with my steps. So what I'm going to do here is what? And another way that you can do this is, since you are considering this value, and if you are considering this only, you are not going to what? If you are considering this only, you are not going to, if you circle this, you consider this. This A is assigned to 1. You don't need to consider this as well again. You get it? So if you are considering C, you can consider this only. That is, this C is assigned to 2. And if you are considering this, since you are considering this, you cannot consider this one as well. If you consider this one is assigned to 3, and there's not an element here, so you can consider this as well also. But the line that I used to draw is what? I draw this line to cover all the zeros, and it's not a what? It's not up to what? It's not 4, and our order of matrix is what? Is 4. So it's not 4 by 4. So I have to make it what? I have to make it what? 4. So what am I going to do next? My next is what? To subtract. What's my minimum here? My minimum element here that is uncovered is what? 1. That is the smallest element here that is uncovered is 1. I will subtract my uncovered elements, which is the minimum uncovered element, from all the uncovered elements. That is 5 will subtract 1, 1 will subtract 1. That is 7 minus 1, 5 minus 1, 1 minus 1, 3 minus 1, 7 minus 1, 1 minus 1. Now let's consider the smallest uncovered element is 1. So the smallest uncovered element is 1. So here I'm going to have 5 minus 1, which is 4, 1 minus 1, which is 0, 7 minus 1, which is 6, then 3 minus 1, which is 2, 7 minus 1, which is 6, and the last uncovered element here is what? 1. 1 minus 1, which is what? 0. What I did here is what? I subtract what? I subtract the smallest element from uncovered elements. So this is what I do here. This is what? Step 4. I subtract the smallest element from the uncovered element. So my table will now be in this row I have 0 here, 0, 5, 1, 7. So these are the uncovered elements. So our uncovered element here is what? 4. That is 5 minus 1, which is 4. 1 minus 1 is what? 0. 7 minus 1 is 6. So I'm going to have 0, 4, 0, 6. So my second row, 0. I've covered this one. Uncovered element is what? 3. And I subtract it from what? 1. 3 minus 1 is 2. So this one we're going to have 260. 260, which is there? 260. And here is what? 0. My third row is 2036. 2036. And my last row is what? 2000. 2000. You can see that I form another new table. So the next is what? Since I've covered, because since I want to achieve, since I have to what? I want to achieve my optimal solution. The next step is what? My next step is what? I have to what? I have to what? I have to find the what? I have to add the smallest uncovered elements, which is 1. The smallest uncovered elements, which is 1, to the point of intersection element. So what's our point of intersection element? So remember that when I was explaining point of intersection element, I said that what? The intersection is what? I drew a line like this. Here, I said this. This is our point of intersection. Element that is here is the what? Point of intersection. So I'm going to add it what? Plus 1. So element that is here is the point of intersection. So when I got this point of intersection is our when I was drawing my line. In fact, when I draw the line. So here is what? This value is the point of intersection. You can see it. And this one is also a point of intersection. This is the what? This is the point. And this is the point. And the element that are on the point are 2 and 2. So I'm going to add what? 2 plus what? To the point of intersection. That is, add the point of intersection. You can make a screenshot for this. So add the point of intersection element. So the point of my intersection element are what? So the point of my intersection element are 2 and what? 2 and 2. So my point of intersection, that is the smallest element, add the point of intersection by the uncovered element. So I can write it like this. Add this point of intersection element by the smallest uncovered element. By the smallest uncovered element. So I'm going to have, so my smallest uncovered element is 1. So 2 plus 1. My point of intersection are what? So my point of intersection are what? 2. 2 and 2, which is 3. 2 plus 1, which is what? 3. So remember that I did step 3 here. This was step 4. So my step 5 will now be, this is my step 5. That is step 5. This is my step 5. Step 5. So I will now draw my table. So what is my first row? 0, 4, 0, 6. My second row, 0, 2, 6, 0. My last row is, my third row is 2, 0, 3, 6. And is my point of my 2 is my point of intersection. So I've added 1 to it. That is 3, 0, 3, 6. And what? The last one is what? 3, 0, 0, 0. Remember that these are the point of intersection where the line was meets point of intersection, and it fall on 2. The second one fall on 2. So that's why we have 2 plus 1. I'm going to add the smallest uncovered element by the what? To the point of intersection element, which I got 3 and 3. So it's this 3 and 3. Now the next step is for me is what? Step 6 is what? To now draw my what? To now draw my table. That is, draw my minimum line. So that's what? To cover all the zeros. So here is persons. So in my first row I have 0 4 0 6. My second row I have 0 2 6 0. My third row I have 3 0 3 6. And my fourth row I have what? 3 0 0 0. So it means I want to cover this element. So wherever I see 0, I'm going to cover it. And then you have to know that if I'm covering this one, so let me start with what? Strike. Let me teach you on how to strike a number. So let me consider my A. I have 0 here. I have 0 here. Since I've considered my A is what? That is, my A is assigned to 1. A is assigned to 1, that I have 0 here is 1. So if I'm considering this, that is, this one is what? You can see that in this one, this is row, this is column. That is, a person A is assigned to 1, which I cover 0, that is here. So it means since it's assigned to 1, it means this A has taken 1. A has taken 1. So here is B. So here is B. I'm going to strike this out. That is not part. Why? The reason why is that what? The reason why is that what? Since A has taken this column, that is, this A is assigned to this column. So since I've taken this, I'm not going to consider this. Suppose if I'm considering A, other way I can do it like there's another 0 here. If I take this one, if I strike this one out, I'm not going to strike this. Either of the two, we're going to get our answer. I hope it is very, very clear. Let me explain again. This is our A. This is what? 0. If I'm considering this A, I want to cover all the 0 here. Do you get it? It's what? To cover all the 0 here. Cover, draw a minimum, draw a minimum line. Draw a minimum line to cover all 0. To cover all zeros. You can draw a line to cover it. You can do like this to cover it. So what I'm considering is that if I'm considering this 0, since if I'm considering this 0 is under what? Is on 3. So I'm not going to consider this. That is, it fall on the same column. That is, fall on column. This 0 fall on column on 3, fall on column on 3. And look here, if I'm considering this one as well, I'm not going to consider this. So either way, you are going to do it. Look here, since I'm considering A, this column here, I'm considering this one. I don't need to consider this. It's either of the two. So let's try it again. You are going to try the two again. So on B, since I've considered this line, this column, I've taken A here, and A fall on the same column on B. So I don't need to take this one. I can let my B to be here. I can cover this my B here. So let's go on C. This is our C. Have you seen it? This is C. So I will check the column. 0 is here. This is my C. I can take this one as well. This column is what? We have 0 on that column. Since I've taken one column, I've covered 0. I've covered one 0 on it at the same column. So the other element, which is 0, will be what? Will be strike out. I'm going to strike it out. That is not part. So let me consider D. So on D, I will not consider this. Why? I'm not going to cover this one. Why? Because we have seen that B is what? On I've covered 0 on what? On element on B, which is this. And it must only be one cover 0 that I must cover. It's only 0. It's only one 0 that I must cover in one column. And it must not what? I must not cover this one. So it means I'm not going to what? I'm not going to what? I'm not going to cover this 0. So let me go to what? On a row 3. This is what? Column 3. I can cover this, yes, because this I've not covered this one as well. But if I cover this one, if I cover this as well, since if I cover this one or I cover this is what I can cover this as well, or I should cover this, either of the two. So, but I'm not going to cover this. If I cover this one, I'm going to strike this one out. So how many zeros do I cover here? I cover another 0, 1. I cover here 2, 3, and 4. Can you see that the numbers of what? The numbers of what? The number of the line draw. The numbers of line draw is equal to what? Is what? Is the number of line draw is 4. So The order of matrix. The order of matrix is what? The order of matrix is what? The order of matrix is what? Is 4. Order 4. So it means what? My optimal solution is achieved. Another way that you can draw this. Let me explain another way again. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So here I have 0, 4, 0, 6, 0, 2, 6, 0. Another way I want to show you 3, 0, 3, 6, 3, 0, 0, 0. Since this is A, B, C, D, which is person 1, 2, 3, 4, which is job. I've assigned this one. It means I've covered 1A here. That is, I've covered the column here, which is 0, 0, 0. So I must only take what? I must only take what? If I'm considering A here, I can consider A or B. So in this element, I can take this. What element can I cover again? I have another 0 here again. I can cover it as well. If I cover this 0 here, it means I've done it for B. I will go to C as well. I've done for A, I've done for B. I can draw my line either vertical or horizontal. That way you want it. You can cover this one as well. Either way you want it. So let me go for my C. So where is my C? This is my C. Remember that this B is assigned to this. I've covered this B. My C is what? I can cover this as well. And my D is there. I can cover this. Either of it. You can see that I draw a vertical line or what? Vertical line or what? Horizontal line. So how many lines do I draw? I draw what? 4 lines. So the order of the line I draw is what? 4. And the order of the matrix is what? 4. So 4 is equal to what? 4. And the optimal solution is what? Is achieved. You can now find what? You can now find our total cost, which is said to be what? Maximization. So this is persons and job. This is persons, and this is what? Jobs. Either way. So let me consider this jobs, persons, and total cost. So on my this one is A, this one is A, I cover this one. My A is what? A. On my A, what did I cover? I covered this one. So A is assigned to 0, where I cover which is 1. A is assigned to 1. So B, I covered what? 0. Last 0 on what? 2. Which is assigned to what? 4. Which is job. So my B is assigned to 4. My C is assigned to what? I covered 0, which is what? 2. My C is assigned to 2. Then my D is assigned to what? This 0. On element of what? 3. You can see that A is taking 1, C is taking 2, B is taking what? D is taking 3, then B is taking 4. They cannot take, if A is taking 1, B cannot take 1. Each of them must have what? Must assign to each other. That is the 4. If it is 4, each of them will assign to all the 4. If it is 3, each of them will be assigned to what? Each 3. Now, if I'm considering this one, I will just take only 0 that is here on this word column. This is my vertical line that I draw here. This 0, or I should take B. If I'm considering this B only, I will not consider A. If you are going, you will not go back to the question you are giving. That is on. You not check on jobs. On job here we have on one on job. What do we have? We have 20. I'm going to have 20. On B, you will check persons on B. So we now check on 4. What do we have on 4? On B, that is the numbers of what? Number on B, the role of B on 4. Which the column of 4 is what? It's 4 on what? B, which is 17. So we check C, which is 2. C, we have on first job, we have 19, 17. So it means on 2 is what? 17. We now check D, which is 3. D is 3, 24. We check 24. Have you seen it? So the total cost of this, we get our organization. So 20 plus 17 plus 17 plus 24. So you get what? 20, 17, 17 and 24. 7 plus 7, 14 plus 4, 8. 2 plus 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it is what? 78. So the total cost of minimization is what? 78. So we have got our total cost. So therefore, the total cost, the total cost of minimization, total cost, we minimize, total cost minimization is what? Total cost minimization is what? Is equal to what? 78. So this is the solution to the problem. Thanks for watching.